Alrighty, everyone. Matt back here with another video for y'all. Appreciate y'all for watching this as always. Make sure y'all comment if you have any questions, like the video, and share not to one person if y'all can. We've got a pretty big significant change in the weather pattern that's going to be ongoing, and we are going to be talking about an extensive heat wave that could, or not could, but will impact parts of the eastern and central United States as we go into later into this week and into next week. And then we've also got potentially a couple rounds of severe weather that could be either isolated to significant through the end of this week and into next week. And then we're going to talk about potentially even some snow showers that could come down from Canada into parts of northern Montana. So we are starting to transition where we're going to start to see winter weather into some of the northern places, far northern places, into the United States, and maybe even in the Rockies down the road, because snow season can happen between September and beyond into the fall months here as we go into the parts of the Rockies and then transition over. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that, and then we're going to talk about the severe weather, the heat, and we're going to talk about the tropics. Right now, no tropical weather is expected over the next 7 days. We are watching for a couple shortwave troughs that could be coming, or some active areas that could be coming off the Africa coastline next week. So we'll talk more about that as we get closer to next week. But I do want to go ahead and jump into today's severe weather forecast, and that is going to include a small marginal risk today for severe weather back here into Arizona. That's still continuing to watch monsoon season on go. So this is going to bring the chance for some isolated wind and hail. We've actually had a couple tornado warnings over the last couple of weeks that have not touched down or anything, but have caused because of some spin with some of these storms that do happen. So kind of be mindful of that. All three modes of severe weather could happen, but we're going to be looking at wind and hail down there today in Arizona. So Tucson down into the southern side of Phoenix, and then back up here where our main severe weather event today is going to be. And we might actually go live for this event today just because of the wind threat that will be in place over North Dakota and Montana. So we'll talk about that here in just a second. But we do have a slight risk of severe weather, level 2 out of 5 in that green shaded area. We got a level 1 risk out of 5 in the marginal shaded area, and that includes parts of Montana. We've got North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, southeastern and northeastern Wyoming, and we've got most of Colorado in a marginal here, and then parts of northwestern Kansas and central Nebraska. So today's threat is wind, hail, and it's going to be wind and hail. Tornado threat is below 2%, but I would not rule out a small chance for an isolated tornado somewhere up here near the western North Dakota and eastern Montana line, because there is a little bit of spin mechanism up here. I've seen some of the tornado parameters kind of show some small values, so just kind of be marginal or mindful of the fact that we could see a potential spin up tornado somewhere up there where this storm system has maximized that. Now, there actually is a pretty significant wind event for today. We are going to be talking about the hatched wind risk today. This means winds could exceed up to 75 miles an hour here in parts of Miles City. We've got Glendive, Sydney, Wolf Point, Glasgow, Montana, and then back here into Williston and Dickinson along Interstate 94 and Highway 2 here. So be mindful if you're in this hatched area here, winds could exceed 60 to 75 miles an hour. Outside of that, we've got a 15% chance of winds up to 70 and a 5% as well, 60 to 70 mile an hour winds could be possible in that marginal area. Now, also looking at the hail risk for today as well, we're going to be talking about a slight risk, which is a level 2. Like I said, damaging winds and hail. Hail today is going to be 1 to 2 inches in diameter, and then 1 to 2 inches in diameter outside of that as well, 15 and 5%. So not really anything too crazy today. I think we'll start to transition more to an active severe weather threat as we get toward this weekend potentially. Now, tomorrow we also have a marginal risk of severe weather. This was actually one fine marginal line. They did take away the middle section of that due to confidence in severe weather happening. So we do have a marginal risk of severe weather for your Thursday, back here into eastern Colorado, northwestern Kansas, southern and central Nebraska, and then back up here into Minnesota, eastern North Dakota, and northeastern and South Dakota, as well as that for tomorrow. And then we've also got our day 3 forecast as well. Another marginal risk for severe weather here back into the Rockies and back into the northern and central plains. So the next 3 days we'll be talking about severe weather in the northern central plains and parts of the Rockies. As we go toward this week, like I said, I'll talk about that here in just a second. Now, the overall trend for today, what are we going to be seeing with the storm coverage out for today? Well, we're going to be seeing isolated showers and storms fire off around 5 to 6 p.m. this afternoon. Could be a little bit sooner than that. Back here into parts of northeastern Wyoming and southern southeastern Montana, and then back here into Colorado and southern Wyoming, we can see showers and storms popping off. Really going to be talking more of a wind threat today if there's any storms that can stay severe here back into like Glenwood Springs along Interstate 70 into Denver. So we'll be kind of watching this for you guys, and then continuing to watch later on tonight. Isolated showers and storms could be breaking out here in South Dakota, parts of northeastern Colorado, and then back here up here into our main wind threat for today. we're going to be talking about the chance right along that low here for a little bit of spin potentially. Like I said, isolated tornado risk could be present, but really going to be looking at winds 60 to 75 miles an hour. And you can see that's really maximized around that 10 o'clock hour tonight, as these storms kind of form a linear line. They go from supercells to linear into the North Dakota area before weakening out overnight tonight and then going into Colorado. So the main threat tonight going to be, like I said, damaging winds and small hail. And then back here overnight tonight as well, we can see a couple of storms firing off along the North Platte area back down into McCook, Nebraska, and into Kansas here. So this is something we're going to watch out for you guys. Now, like I said, no tropical weather forecasted for the next 7 days here into parts of the Atlantic Oceans, which is good news. We're going to continue to watch a couple little waves that could eventually work their way off here into the coast of Africa over the next couple of weeks. So we'll watch that for you guys. Now, we do have Hurricane Gilma, now Category 1 hurricane, expected to become a major hurricane with winds up to 115 over the next couple of days as this kind of tracks towards Hawaii. So we are going to be watching Hawaii as well. If you guys have friends, family, anybody that lives in Hawaii that watches my videos, let them know, or yourself know, that there is a trend for tropical activity closer to you guys over the next week or two. Continue to watch Gilma, and we've also got 2 other high areas of development that could go towards Hawaii down the road. So this is something we're going to continue to update you guys on. We'll actually show you what satellite imagery is showing over here on Gilma. Up here. All right, we won't show that right now. I'll have to show it in the next video. Too much work to do that. We might show it on stream tonight if we end up streaming for you guys. Now, back here into the overall weather pattern. This is the latest European model run for you guys. We'll talk about the active jet stream that we're seeing. You can see a lot of things going on right now with the jet stream, and we can see we got a low that's continuing to work its way off the northeast coastline today. Not going to see any really severe weather with any of that. No showers or storms, maybe an isolated storm or two with the daytime heating, but we're really focused more on this ridge that's setting up over the Four Corners, and this is going to continue to sit here, continuing to drive triple-digit temperatures into Texas, parts of the southern Colorado area, the Four Corners here, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, into parts of Oklahoma and Texas and Kansas. So be mindful of that ridge continuing to bring excessive heat wave here. Now, what we're also watching is, like I said, for today, we have a little trough ejection here that's bringing in that chance for severe weather today, and those damaging winds and an isolated tornado and hail threat could apply once again for that southwesterly flow. But as we go through the next couple of days, something that's going to change, and this is the big change in the forecast for later on this weekend into next week, that ridge is going to start to move east. And what it's going to do is build over the Central Plains, Midwest, Ohio Valley, and Mid-Atlantic and cause a higher heat wave possibility for next week. Now, the temperature outlook for next week, 8 to 14 day outlook range, is showing 70% chance of above average temperatures in the Midwest and Ohio Valley for next week. So this is something we're going to have to watch here. But the bigger story is going to be this major trough ejection, and a pretty significant trough ejection that actually sets up off the West Pacific here next Friday. And this could bring in the significant severe weather threat. Now, the questions for this are all over the place. Is this going to cause severe weather? Is this going to materialize? This is something we're going to have to continue to watch. A lot of models showing different things with this, but this could cause some significant severe weather into the northern plains and Midwest as we go into this weekend. And this is something we're going to have to watch for all modes of severe weather. Potentially, this could go into Canada and impact Canada as well. But we're going to continue to watch this. And this is, like I said, a pretty strong trough ejection for this time of the year. So depending on how strong this is, another big scenario is this high pressure ridge that sets up late this weekend over the Central Plains and Ohio Valley and Midwest could cause a pretty strong capping inversion. And the capping inversion is a temperature inversion in the upper levels of the atmosphere that keeps storms from firing off and from going severe, basically due to higher heat temperatures that are higher than the dew points. So that could help cause, a lesser severe weather event. But if storms, do materialize and this trough ejection comes together and we get a low that is actually potentially negatively tilted here once this comes through Sunday through Tuesday next week, we could actually see some pretty significant severe weather as we go to next week. So we're going to keep you guys updated on that. And that would be our first big severe weather risk for quite some time that we've had in a while. Now, also, as we go into next week as well, continuing to watch another pretty strong low pressure system over Canada, and this could cause, I think, more of a better chance for significant severe weather late next week as we go into the northern plains, Midwest, and maybe into the northern Ohio Valley late next week. So this is, a 7 to 10 day forecast. So this is going to change, but this is something we got to watch pretty significantly as far as the chance for severe weather next week. So be mindful of that. Now, one other thing I want to show you guys as well is going to be that precip here. And this is going to kind of show you the where we could see the highest rainfall totals, just where we're going to see the active precip. And over the next couple of days here, continuing to watch the central and northern plains. As, like I said, we go into this weekend, we're going to watch that trough ejection that could come through on Sunday and Monday with some showers and some storms. Model's really not picking up on a lot of precipitation right now due to the potential for a capping inversion. So this is where we're going to watch for this weekend storm. And then as we go into next week, look what happens with next Tuesday Tuesday and Wednesday. We got a couple cells, showers and storms that could fire off here in the Ohio Valley, but we're going to be watching in this area right here for Thursday through Friday of next week, as we could see that strong low pressure system come through into parts of the northern Midwest here, and this could cause for, you know, maybe damaging wind events and hail and maybe some isolated tornadoes late next week. Potentially, and then, you know, some cold air would filter in on the backside of this, and we'd probably see a little bit of a cool down behind that again. So this is just kind of an average of what we're going to be looking like. Now, one other thing is going to be those temperatures, and those temperatures are going to continue, like I said, to be a problem as we go through the next week here, enjoying that cool down for the next couple of days here into the Midwest and Ohio Valley. Triple digits down here in Texas, Oklahoma, the Four Corners. But as we go into, like I said, late this weekend and next week, that ridge is going to build over the Central Plains and Midwest and Ohio Valley, and we're going to start to see those triple digits and upper 90s become forecasted now for parts of much of the eastern half and Central Plains of the United States. So something we're going to have to watch, and then that potential for severe weather late next week with maybe even a refreshing cool down that could come through late next weekend. So we'll keep you guys updated on this. A lot of big changes coming to the weather forecast. We probably will do a live stream this afternoon, so look out for a live stream probably between 4 and 6 p.m. We'll get on here, talk to you guys about what's going on, and get you guys going with the severe weather and just in general the global forecast. I haven't been able to get on here and talk to you guys a lot because I've been doing school and we've been busy with the kiddos. So hopefully we'll be able to get on here and talk to you guys tonight. If you guys do not hear from me, we'll be in tomorrow's video. Instead, I will see y'all later. Be safe, be weather aware, and I will talk to you guys later.